Hello, welcome to a video in PowerPoint on how to write critical essays. Writing is a major component of this course. We don't have any exams, but you will have 4 critical essays due throughout the course of the semester. The 4 critical essays due are the following. The first one is Jared Diamond's essay, Necessity's Mother. You'll take a look at this essay yourself and then write a review of it. We also have for essay 2, Galileo's Starry Messenger and a letter that he wrote. The Starry Messenger is something that is a work written by Galileo himself at the time when he was working on his own ideas about science. So a primary source, if you will. We also have Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, a novel that is one of the first works of science fiction, maybe one of the first works of horror, depending upon how you look at it. And then finally, we have essay 4, Bruno Latour's Love Your Monsters. Bruno Latour is a 21st century philosopher who works on the issues of technology and society. So, how to proceed? First off, read the instructions for your assignment. The reading materials and the instructions are in your content folders in the weeks associated with these assignments. We'll get to that. So first thing you want to do is read your materials. Read the materials assigned not only in your textbook but also for these essays. Then you're going to want to read the instructions for the actual assignment. Each critical essay has an assigned written prompt. Please follow those prompts. If you have trouble with that prompt or you think, oh gosh, I really want to go off in a different direction, that's fine, just let me know. Contact me and let's make sure that it's not a direction that will take you so far afield that it'll be hard to finish, right? So please read the instructions. Each one has its own prompt. Read the instructions again. When you're in an online class, we don't have the opportunity to read and reread the instructions in the class, and therefore people have questions that come up that really make everything clearer, perhaps, right? So read again, and again, if you have questions, contact me. Read the assigned materials associated with each essay. Get going on those readings. Meet the deadlines. First key to a successful essay is analysis. What are the main ideas addressed in your readings? So as you're reading Galileo, as you're reading Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, right, what are the main ideas that come up? Identify examples that support your understanding of those ideas. Yeah? This is taking notes. So take notes as you go along. What are the big ideas and what examples support those? Can you then craft a paragraph for each idea? Can you incorporate at least one example to support the ideas you're finding? If you can do that, you're well on your way to reading the assigned material critically and taking good notes, right? If you can do all this, you're taking great notes, and you're on your way to starting your writing assignment. So read, take good notes, and start to think about the ideas that are there in your reading and what examples you're finding in your reading that support those ideas. The second key element for a successful critical essay is that you need to have an argument. Ask yourself, what am I trying to say? Why should anyone believe me? Your claim, what you're trying to say, is your thesis. Every good essay should have a thesis. This can be quite simple. For example, I think the author is right in his claim, or her claim, right? Jared Diamond is right. Necessity is not the mother of invention. What we really ought to be looking at is what's the mother of necessity. I know, he flips that around, but it's an interesting essay, so take a look. So you may say, oh yes, he's right in this regard. Or you may say, no, he's got it all wrong, and let me show you how. And that's okay too. Some of our articles will be rather controversial. We're talking about science and society and technology after all. So you can get some controversial issues raised. So you could also have as a thesis statement, the author's main point is X. Right? For example, birds are an important symbol in this novel. I'm not sure if that fits for Frankenstein, but you get where I'm headed. And so on. The point is to make a claim that you will then argue in defense of. Right? So your thesis could be, the author is right, let me tell you why, or the author is wrong, let me tell you why, or you could have a thesis that says, the author's main point is, here you go. Your thesis does not need to be completely original. Yes, don't feel like you have to be the only one who's ever thought of this idea. It does need to be something interesting, something non-trivial, something that you've come up with, that you've been inspired to come up with from your own reading. It should be something that reasonable people might conceivably disagree with. Otherwise, why are you writing a paper to defend it? The part about why anyone should believe you is your argument. And that's what you want to do. You want to make an argument. There are a lot of ways to get someone to believe you, or at least say that they believe you. Some are rational, some are not. An argument, however, is rational. It doesn't flatter, it doesn't mislead, it doesn't trick, or otherwise try to appeal to your reader's emotions. You will need to present evidence, examples, from your text, right? Or maybe from secondary sources. Feel free to incorporate secondary sources, but make sure you cite all your sources. And you will need to link your evidence to your claim. The reason is you want people who read it to accept that the evidence you provide actually follows your claim, right? Or actually shows that your claim comes from the evidence. So you want to link your evidence to your claim, and you want to link it in such a way that anyone who accepts that the evidence is evidence can't fail to see how your claim follows from it. Right? Finally, once you have a thesis, once you have an argument, that's well supported, right? Time to work on that presentation. So now that you know what you've read, now that you know why it's important and what your position is, craft an introduction that includes your thesis statement. Please also identify the author and the material under investigation in your introduction. Let the reader know who you're writing about. Right? Craft a first draft of your paper. Your paper should have a beginning, a middle, and an end. I know that sounds sensible, but sometimes we forget when we're looking at a deadline. Have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Sometimes, once you get to your conclusion, you realize that your introduction might need to be tweaked a little bit because you've figured out what you want to say, right, by the time you finish writing it. That's all part of the process. That's natural. So, revise everything you've written once you write your first draft. Create transitions from paragraph to paragraph, and craft a conclusion that reminds your readers of your main points and convinces them to accept your argument, your approach, your position. Edit carefully for spelling, word choice, and grammar. Make it clear. And then, yes, please submit it on time. I know that seems something I keep bugging you about, but this is a fast term. This is an 8-week class. Things will go by quickly. So make sure you knock these things out as quickly as you can. Get started as soon as you can. Read carefully. Read with great economy. Take good notes as you read. If you have any questions about this process of writing a critical essay, please feel free to contact me. Email, phone. I'm here to help you out, so please let me know. Otherwise, good luck. Looking forward to see what you come up with. Thank you.